All right, welcome back, folks. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to championship round coverage of the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship from here at Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida. This event brought to you by the American Pool Players Association. Our streaming coverage brought to you by our friends at pooldog.com. I'm your host, Jason Bowen. I'm joined by Double J, Jeremy Jones. Jeremy's been with us throughout the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship. Jeremy, the moment of reckoning has come. We've got the battle-tested veteran, two-time champion Tina Larsen on one side.
Yep.
On the other side, the newcomer, the new kid on the block, if you will, Natalie Jacob. We saw him square off just 2 rounds ago. Tina down 4-1 in that match, came battle back, won at 5-4. Opportunity now for Natalie Jacob to kind of avenge that loss.
Yeah, a little drama in that with the last match they played in the hot seat final, and then you also have USA versus Canada here
That's
in our
a good
US
point.
Amateur.
U.S. versus Canada. That's right.
I know without knowing Natalie, of course, she wants another shot at Tina. And Tina, as she commented early in the week, I've won 2, I want 5. So she's put herself in a prime position.
That she has.
To get number 3, and that's the only way you can get to 5 is get to 3 first. So
that's right, and there's history in the making here, folks, because on one hand, like Jeremy said, you have either your first Canadian Women's U.S. Amateur champion ever, or you've got your first 3-time winner of the Women's
On the
U.S.
ladies'
Amateur
side,
champion.
yeah.
So one way or another, we're going to be making some history here tonight, folks, at Strokers in Palm Harbor. Before we go to the table, let's do a quick recap of the format here, which changes just a little bit here in the final round. Of course, it's still a combination of 8-ball and 9-ball. This, however, is a race to 9. The matches up until this point have been a race to 5. This is now an extended race to 9, which means it is now single elimination instead of double elimination. We're going to see 6 games, potentially 6 games of 8-ball, potentially 11 games of 9-ball. Once again, the winner of the lag chooses the break or the format. The ladies have already lagged once again for the 3rd time in a row that we've seen at least.
Yep.
Natalie has won the lag, is opting to start in the 9-ball set again, where we've seen her be very strong.
right.
Which means Tina Larsen, her opponent, will have the break. I think Tina is taking just a quick moment before we get started. So while she does that, we're going to hear a quick word from our friends at pooldog.com.
Tired of the same old when you're buying billiard supplies? Come shop with the big dogs at pooldog.com. You want pool cues? We've got over 700. Balls, cases, accessories, no problem. Want help with your game? How does hundreds of free training articles sound? Want to shop offline? We'll mail you a free catalog. Hit us up online, pooldog.com, or call 866-843-3294.
All right, so we're just about ready to go. The rack has been set. Nice handshake there between the ladies. Tina will have the break. For you folks just joining us, just picking us up in your Facebook news feed, you are seeing the championship round of this year's Women's U.S. Amateur Championship. Again, being brought to you by our friends at pooldog.com.
Yeah. And Tina missed the one a little bit there. She wanted to hit it much more flush, and usually does. She really breaks the ball as well. Can't blame Natalie sticking with the 9-ball with her choice, giving up the first break. And, probably percentage-wise, she feels like it might cost her a game giving up that first break. But, if she had played Tina last time and Tina, really put on a show playing 9-ball or something, she might have thought otherwise about giving up that first break. But she wants to stick to the 9-ball, and it served her well.
Tina was 3-0 against her in 8-ball. I'm sure that played into consideration there. So this is Natalie Jacob at the table. Natalie is from Montreal.
Yeah, she tried to hit that a bit thinner and coast the cue ball behind the 6. But a bit different than they opened last match whenever Tina had a dry break and Natalie went on to clear the table and really kind of dominated the 9-ball side of it. And, just quite the opposite, actually, when it came to the 8-ball. With Tina needing to win all 3 to win the match and went on to do it.
It'll be interesting to see what happens here. Tina's had some time off. Of course, she joined us during the semifinal match for a few minutes, and I know she took in that last match, kind of scouting her opponents, and obviously she's familiar with both, but maybe not as familiar with Natalie. as she was Stacy Barbeau, who finishes in 3rd place. Congratulations to her.
And I'm sure I would consider Tina, again, without really knowing her for some time, a savvy vet is what you might label her.
Battle tested.
Right, exactly. So I think, she's been in this position before, winning the winner's side. It wasn't that long of a break. The format and the structure of the tournament was really nice to where she didn't have a 3 or 4 or 5 hour layoff. It was just one race to 5 pretty much she had to wait on, which is always, if you can run a tournament like that, you're doing a good job.
Yeah. Viewership continues to build, and what we would ask you folks that are tuning in, if you're enjoying the coverage here that we've been providing of the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship, do us a big favor, a big solid, if you will, and hit that share button. Trying to drive our viewership up as much as we can to the benefit of our sponsors.
Okay, and another nice shot, and again, really impressed with the pattern play by a lot of the ladies, but especially Natalie in this 9-ball. Pretty solid in the 8-ball as well, along with Tina. I would consider Tina maybe a little bit more of a shot maker from what I've seen. Still with a real nice, tidy cue ball, but Natalie's really gotten through the racks nice when it comes to the rotation part of our format. Okay, just as I opened my mouth, a little short with the cue ball there. It's going to be very difficult now to gain position. She'll have to come across with some side spin. So watch the cue ball after it hits this first rail. I'm not sure if she's recognizing it here. She can put a lot of left English and come over in between the 7 and 9 with the cue ball. Requires a pretty soft, light hit, and a lot of left side spin. And that's what she's done, and really nice. And she's gotten a little steep on this, so now the 9-ball comes into play as far as making sure you don't get snookered. She'll have to hit this 6 pretty light. And she's trying to check where's the maximum I can go with the cue ball and not have problems with the 9. And I'll tell you one thing about Natalie. I'm not, being from Montreal, I do know Luke Salvis, really, really top player from Canada, from Montreal, owns some rooms there. But I can tell she's definitely spent some time with some of the top players, just the way her position play and the way her thought process is for getting through the racks. Now, again, an angle on the 8 would be her friend. Doesn't want to draw back and get real flat on the 8. She wants to probably just kind of come straight up the table, just maybe a foot to the right side of the 9. Come straight at the 8. That'll offer a nice little 2-rail angle to get from the 8 to the 9. So real simple. Okay, she got a little more on it, and she's going to get a little flatter, but still enough angle to move the cue ball.
Nice group of spectators that has gathered here at Strokers. A lot of the men have coming in to register and hanging out to take in this final match in the Women's Championship.
Sure. And
I'm sure they're anxious to get on the tables as well as soon as it concludes.
Well, the people for the open event, if they're paying attention to this, and the funny thing is, you don't go into paying attention to it thinking, oh man, I'm gonna learn something from these ladies, but you do. It's just like, oh, okay, something kind of hits you. And also another thing, it won't be 2 minutes after this tournament's over, every table in this place will be full.
Right.
Because everybody's been watching, so that makes you eager, wanting to play.
Wanting
Even
to
yourself,
shoot,
you might want to hit a few balls. Yeah.
Starting to feel a little more confident in my game.
Okay, a big
9 in the
9-ball.
corner. Good start for Natalie, off to a 1-0 lead in a race to 9.
Yeah,
Not a big surprise there. I think we've seen her do that in the last 2 matches, off to an early start, off to an early lead. So.
And after the dry break, she didn't run out, but it was one shot that Tina missed a safety that she ran out. She ran out in the first match in the first game, very impressive. And then again against Stacy, she ran the last 7 balls to open the match. So.
Yep. I know a lot of folks still just now tuning in. This is the championship final in the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship. Tina Larsen. She's out of Westville, Indiana, 48 years old. Been playing pool for 32 years. Her opponent, Natalie Jacob from Montreal, 56 years old. Been playing for 25 years with a 12-year hiatus mixed in there.
Yeah.
Just started playing again earlier this year and picked up right where she left off, or maybe better, I don't know.
Yeah, well, you can tell ever since she did come back, when it was April, I think you said,
Yeah.
that she's put in a lot of time since then.
Looks like it.
It's not the casual player.
Well, she does scratch on the break there, so Tina will have ball in hand.
On a runnable rack, ball in hand, the two, you know, the first shot is probably the toughest position shot she has. Even though she's got ball in hand, she's got to thread the needle coming back between the 2 and 3, and the 9's in consideration as well. But if she gets on the 2, the 3's next to it, the 4's near, 5's very accessible. 6 could be a little bit of an issue, but I like what she's looking at here, just drawing one rail, and I kind of call this use your talent. It's not like a definite path, but, you know, kind of just, I'll show you on the monitor, just draw one rail off the side rail and float all the way down. Now she's going to follow, and this, I talked about this earlier, that I love following with ball in hand. She's going to set it up just to naturally go between the 2 and 3, and that's probably actually better. Okay, she kind of punched it, so she's going to need a little more cue ball travel, and that should be enough. So an excellent decision, and just like I talked about a minute ago, if the guys are watching, you could have learned. I learned something right there. I was looking at the one rail angle, drawing the ball, and that was a much better choice, especially under pressure.
Seen a number of nail biters today, Hill matches. Eager to see how this one plays out. Expecting a close match, but you never know. I'm just playing with our telestrator a little bit there.
A little experiment. Okay, so she wants to probably kill the cue ball and stay underneath the 4, but if she doesn't want to risk that, she'll go above it. Okay, and maybe that was intentional, thinking the 6 didn't pass the 9 initially. But the thing about when you do something like that, you see how she rested on the rail with the cue ball, and maybe the 9 dressing up for a combination is going to be your savior in this rack. But when you take that chance, now she can't get very close to the 5 because she rested on, you know, took a little chance moving the 9. Now the cue ball's on the rail. So she'll have to settle for a long shot on the 5.
Seeing lots of thumbs up and hearts flying, which means people are enjoying the streaming coverage. What I really want to see, though, is some hitting of that share button. That gets us more viewers. So if you don't mind, hit that share button. Let the folks on your Facebook feed know what's going on here at Strokers in Palm Harbor. Should be a great match. Trying to bring it to as many viewers as we can. Share, share, share some more. You're going to hear me say that a couple dozen times through the match. So the quicker you do it, the sooner I'll stop saying it.
That's right. Okay, a really nice confident stroke there, and I think a good decision trying to just play the 6-9 combo rather than trying to draw the cue ball all the way back for the 6 in the side off the 5. I think that would have made the 5 very missable. Now a combo, just a medium light speed.
Oh. Can't get that 9 ball to drop.
No, and she has left Natalie a shot, but not an easy one, and a real funny one to try and gain position on the 7. The angle, we'll get a look from the overhead here in a second, that the angle, you see how it's kind of just going towards that side pocket if she shoots the 6 in the corner. So you may see her put a lot of speed on this, trying to get all the way to the end rail. I think that's the best way to play it. Oh, well.
She's going to get a little lucky here.
She banked it on in, maybe. It's real close. No.
Not quite. Great opportunity now for Tina.
And she has a pocket on the 6, of course, not the entire pocket. But she can cut it in above, I believe. above the 9 and just naturally come down for the 7.
Question about double elimination. So as we move into the final, it does become single elimination in an extended race, a race to 9 instead of the race to 5. She pockets that 6 in the corner.
She wants the cue ball to slow down a little bit. That way she has an easy angle on the 7 to go one rail towards the 8. Because a second ago she could handle straight in on the 8 because the 9 was laid up in the pocket. But during that shot, the 9 got moved up the rail a little bit. So now she needs to not only get a little closer to the 8, but also keep an angle. So she's going to draw back. Watch out for straight in. Straight in could be a problem. Okay, she got a little off the rail. Man, she's got a nice stroke, though. Did you see how easy she drew that cue ball back? And that's what I mean. I kind of feel like she's a little more of the shot maker between the two. Still with a nice cue ball control.
Tina evens things up at a game apiece here. Now tied 1-1, race to 9.
And that's got to be a good feeling for Tina to get on the board early.
Absolutely,
with
especially in the
9
9-ball set. These ladies all smiles, at least at this point. Regardless of the outcome, I think they can both feel very good about their tournament here this week at Strokers.
Yeah, well, we talked about Tina having 2 titles already, but they had been some time ago. And I'm not sure she's made it back to the final since. I'd have to look back at the history of the tournament, but, you know, and with Natalie, her first tournament here, you know, even though I think she, you know, looking at her game, she probably felt like she was going to compete real well in this, but still you have to have some fortune to get to the final, and your first tournament here at the U.S. Amateur, you're in the final.
These ladies very evenly matched, at least from what we've seen today.
Yeah, I wouldn't. A 9-8 victory to one of them wouldn't shock me at all, Jason. Oh, okay.
Try break there for Tina.
Nice spread, though. So 1 ball in the corner that Natalie will play for sure. Offers easy position on the 2.
Again, we are at Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida. Palm Harbor just across the bay from Tampa.
Okay, a little thick, I think. Yeah.
All day long, that lower pocket has been, that lower corner, been a little bit of an issue.
Now, tough position shot here. She's got to maneuver the cue ball somehow between the 7-9. I think it kind of lays there to go between the 7-9 and between the 8-3, maybe. She's going to try and put inside and cut it real thin and come up the right side of the table. And she's close to it. She may be able to do it. Okay, that's good enough. So good effort. Do you come down for a 3-9 combination, or do you load this up with some right English and try and come to just play the 3 ball? Okay, she's coming for the 3.
No skill levels used in the U.S. Amateur Championship. Always get some questions about that.
This is
if
close.
I was rating them, they're both 7 and 9, respectively, 8-ball, 9-ball. But
this is close to making them both. That's what I was about to say. She
didn't
overcut
make
the
either.
3 and she overcut the 9, and guess what? The 7-9 looks like. Do we see a 3-ball combination here, maybe? Well, we'll be able to tell if she's going at the what is our left side of the 3. She's definitely playing a 3-ball combination on the 9. She needs her extension.
Is she going to go for it here?
I think so. Watch out for the cue ball up where she's standing is all, but I think she's pretty confident here. She probably won't baby it either. Oh, just caught it a little
thick. 3 to
thick.
go.
Yeah, that was a cool shot. Kind of off angle on the bank here, though. Not so sure she'll try to play that one. Some difficult position from the 5 to the 6. You can see the 6 all the way up at the top of the table. She may be able to cross side bank it, kind of go across the top of the 4, make it. Oh, she tried to shoot it right in the side. A little bit of a two-way shot, thinking if she missed it, it may get to the end rail, like it did.
Looking ahead to the Open Division, which kicks off tomorrow. I believe that gets underway at 10:30 tomorrow. We'll have streaming coverage throughout the day here on our Facebook page as well as on our YouTube channel. Encourage you to hit your like button. Make sure you're following us on our page so you get a notification. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can hit the subscribe button. Make sure you don't miss a minute of the action here at the U.S. Amateur Championship.
Okay, again, the 4 not a problem. The 5 not a problem making it, really. Well, kind of looked too far ahead there, I guess, but still one I believe that Natalie was supposed to make. But she was really concerned about not getting so far away from that 5 so she could draw the cue ball back for the 6.
Tina Larsen at the table here. Tina has gone undefeated thus far throughout the tournament.
Tina, we've talked about it already a few times, a lady that can draw her ball. So we'll see the power here in the stroke. See if she can get it down and get enough to get all the way back up table.
Oh.
And not only a miss, you can tell it wasn't struck how she wanted because she didn't get the cue ball movement she wanted either.
In our third game of the 9-ball set, we'll see potentially 11 games of 9-ball before they switch to the 8-ball set. You can see up to 6 games there, or 6 racks.
Oh, great shot there. Going back and forth with the cue ball. Got a little thin on the 6, so it'll be a deft touch, trying to hold for the 7 or maybe adding a little English or going up and down the table. The problem with going up and down the table, you can see the 8's like in a prime area to run the cue ball 2 rails up and down. She'll have to kind of get by the 8, maybe in between the 7 and 8 and back up. Touchy shot right here. And a good choice. Instead of running the cue ball, instead of babying it, she decided to use a little side spin to slow it down. Okay, this will definitely be 2 rails back and forth. Cue ball may end up about where the 7's at now, somewhere around there. Oh, she cut a little thin, and when you cut a little thin to the pocket, the cue ball path changes.
Imagine a lot of folks back in Montreal tuning in, rooting Natalie on here. Probably a lot of Canadians in general rooting for their first
sure.
Canadian to win the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship. There's a big event getting ready to start up in Canada this weekend, I believe, the border battle. Canadian teams versus U.S. teams. It's an APA event.
Okay, drawing the ball. So that means she's going to play short side on the 9, I believe. Tough shot. Hit a little thick, and that's all about trying to hold that cue ball for the 9.
I'm going to bring Tina back to the table here.
And looking for her first lead playing 9 ball against Natalie. Oh, nice shot there.
All right.
Okay.
Tina with a 2-1 lead in this race to 9. It's the third rack of 9 ball. Again, we'll see up to 11 racks of 9 ball. 6 racks of 8 ball, depending on how things play out here. But I don't know about you, Jeremy, but I feel like we're going to have a pretty good indication on who wins based on who comes out of this 9 ball rack ahead. I feel like if Tina can split or somehow has the advantage out of the 9 ball set, I like her shot. I like her chances. You know, if Natalie continues to dominate in 9 ball, then, you know, Tina will have her work cut out for her in 8 ball. But
Yeah, well, she's got the lead now. And,
yeah.
You know, if she wins one more game, she's guaranteed to get to play 8 ball.
Yep.
That being Tina. And really, I mean, we've only looked at one set of these two playing each other, and the 9 ball definitely went Natalie's way, but we saw what the 8 ball did. It overcome a big lead.
Tina noted on her bio here, 8 ball's her best game, so she can hold tight in the 9 ball set, get to that 8 ball. I like her chances. Again, no skill levels used here at the U.S. Amateur Championship.
Okay, that's more of that square, solid hit that
Strong
we've
break.
seen. Yeah. There's a 2 ball coming up in front of the side. A little thin on the cut. It's bankable as well. I think she'll cut it. She's got to figure out a route for the cue ball, though, to get to the 4. If the 5 wasn't there, the route's real easy. With the 5 ball there, she may have to manipulate the cue ball a little more. Oh, that would have been perfect. She just needs a little more speed. So we'll see if she wants to let her stroke out right here, drawing the cue ball. I think it's fine. You'd like to just knock it in and come one, you know, kind of like one rail cross, just back in this position for some type of cut on the 5 is all you want. Okay, she's hitting a little higher on the cue ball, so she's playing safe. And I like the idea of the safety, just a little bit overhit, but she's left a real tough angle for Natalie. Very difficult to get position on the 5 from here. Now she could shoot it with some speed into the side and try to come across the table for the 5 in the what would be the lower left corner pocket on your screen. Oh, wow. Nice stroke. And that's taking what the table's given you there, Jason. She recognized that she couldn't get down there straight in on the 5 or a little bit more straight in. So pretty good experience shown there. Should come just straight up the table, just a little to the left side of the 6. Okay, caught the 7. It's not going to hurt at all. And looks like she's got more angle than initially I looked at, so she's going to come down to this bottom short cushion and back up, I believe, for the 7. Don't think she has to worry about the corner pocket for a scratch or running into the 9 with the cue ball. Don't think there's much chance of either of those. It's a nice shot.
This is the 4th rack of the 9-ball set. Again, 11 racks of 9-ball, 6 racks of 8-ball. That's assuming, of course, that we go the distance in a hill match.
Well, you might as well hunker down because I'm pretty sure that's what's happening.
It's been that kind of day, right? That's
Yeah,
what you want, though, in the finals.
Absolutely. I love watching the hill game. Craziest stuff you've ever seen happens. It's rarely like a break and run out. You know what I mean? Seems like in the big pro tournaments, the rotation side of it, there's always a rollout factor or something crazy, you know. So a little short with the cue ball, but nothing to panic about for Natalie. Just get down, do what you've been doing, knock this in with a nice medium stroke.
Just like that, we're back to even. 2-2. Now a race for the next person to win 7 games. The next 7 games, race to 9. Natalie will have the break. Tina will prepare the rack. A shout out to our sponsors, Action Cues, PoolDog.com, Valley Dynamo, and our friends at Aramith, all the support they give us throughout the year, and of course with this event. I know our friends at Pool Dog have a special offer right now on their new Summit Pro Low deflection shaft. If you're looking to try a deflection shaft, but you're not quite ready to invest the several $100s in it, they got a nice value for you. You can get in one of these Summit shafts for $134. Comes with a 60-day guarantee, so you can try it out, see how it works. You can find that at pooldog.com. Natalie Jacob with the break here.
Okay, nothing down as of yet. No real offensive starter. Maybe a kiss shot on the 5 in the side. She wanted to come off the 1 and maybe try to cut the 5 in the side. That's the only offensive shot I really see. Probably not one that Tina's going to go at, and I probably wouldn't either. Maybe. Difficult little safety, though. Nothing easy. You can try and shave the 1, I guess, and just put it behind the 8 and try and just run into the 5 softly. Kind of a containing shot more than a real devastating safety. Well, she's going the other way. Nothing wrong with that either. I mean, there really wasn't much. She's looking at feather in the 1, maybe. I don't think she's shooting at it. Maybe just bump the 8 for the safety like that. She didn't quite get the safety, though, but. Okay, she's elevating. That makes me think she's playing safe. Doesn't want the 1 to catch the point or go in. this is the worry, I think, for Tina, that maybe Natalie doesn't quite have that worry, so it's not so convincing for Natalie, meaning we've seen Tina clear a lot of full tables.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Very capable.
Yeah, and I think Tina's very capable of it as well, but we've seen it from Natalie, and,
Right.
and we've seen it a couple times. I've seen it in the tournament from Tina, but so maybe a little more stress level for Tina early in the racks than there is for Natalie.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking also, if I was in Tina's corner, I might just say, hey, get loose. I think you can shoot with this lady. Maybe the cue ball's not quite as good, but I think you can pocket balls with her. So get loose playing this 9-ball, free swing a little bit more. You don't want to be crazy about it, Okay, she's got to kind of ease this one in here. Otherwise, she could have problems with the 9-ball. And that's the problem with the 9-ball I was talking about right there. She almost got there, and she put a lot of heavy spin thinking she could get above the 9, but it was difficult.
Saw her waving her cue over the table to just get a little bit more.
Yeah, I saw her make a nice curve shot.
Yeah.
Early.
Side pocket earlier.
Yeah, that was against Tina, I believe.
Was it Tina or Stacy? I don't know.
Oh, it might have been Stacy.
Yeah.
You're right. It might have been Stacy.
But it was a beautiful shot.
Yeah. So pretty inept at curving the cue ball. Probably the right shot here as well. She may make it.
Oh.
Or this right here. Leave her very difficult.
Looks like a few folks having trouble with the stream. If you're having trouble here on Facebook, you can jump over to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/APA Leagues.
Well, that's about as thin as you can hit.
Yeah.
One. I think she was thinking, just hit it almost as thin as I can, and I get up underneath that 6-7 and all that. But, phew, man, that 3-ball just rocked. The cue ball moved another, 5 feet or 6 feet after contact, but the 3-ball only moved over about an inch.
A millimeter, yeah.
Should be a safety here. She may go for the cross side bank. If she does, she may go 2 rails right into the 7 with the cue ball. Okay, she's going to play safe. Good choice. Okay, so it's not frozen, so it being not frozen, if she kicks to this bottom rail, it's going to probably be with a light speed. Oh, it looks like she can get right at it. Nice shot.
Again, if you're looking for us on YouTube, that's youtube.com/APA Leagues. Can also link there directly from our website, poolplayers.com. Scroll down to the bottom, and there's a link right there to our YouTube channel. Or Kara was kind enough to put it directly in the comments here, so you can click that link.
Yeah, the bank doesn't look so great. It's a little off angle. She may be able to bank it cross-sided if she draws the cue ball. Heavy draw stroke, but looks like now she's probably playing safe.
Try to keep up with as many of the comments as we can. Of course, if you got a question for Jeremy Jones you'd always wanted to ask, Moscone Cup vice captain, course, you've been on both sides of that Mosconi Cup win too, as both player and coach. And now, did you win you got an MVP in the Mosconi?
No.
No MVP.
No, I was right there, and I've actually been fortunate. I actually feel pretty confident in Mosconi. Like, I did well. I was a good Mosconi player, I think. And And
How many have you played in?
7.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, but
how many did you win?
5.
Look at you.
And made the winning 9-ball 2 different occasions.
Nice.
So the first 2 times it was in America in 03 and 05. Once against Marcus Chamont, which is the European captain.
Sure.
And then once against Thorsten Homan, I believe, in 05.
Oh
I got
man,
the
I
winning
can't
9
imagine
balls.
how exciting that was.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I almost took a bad injury with the celebration.
Oh really?
Well, not a bad injury, but we were jumping up and down, and I think it was Tony Robles that got up underneath, and I mean, it was like clock me.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw stars. It was amazing.
Is that your favorite tournament win?
Oh,
what's your biggest win?
Well, I mean, I won the U.S. Open 9-ball championships.
That's huge too. Yeah.
The BCA Pro Invitational, which was considered one of our majors back in the day. Never
Yeah.
won the World Championships. Finished second one time, fifth a couple times. My roommate actually beat me the year I finished second, Nick Varner.
Yeah.
We were rooming together in Spain.
Oh, wow.
But I grew up playing team sports. I didn't start pool seriously until 17.
Yeah.
I mean, I played a couple games here and there, but so I really like the team aspect thing, Of course, it's an individual-based sport for the most part, but when you get to play the team pool, it's something special.
Yeah. Playing on 9-foot tables. A lot of comments just popped up when I said, hey, you can ask Jeremy questions.
Oh, boy. Look what
Pool-related questions, people. Come on, keep it clean. No, I'm
pretty
just
good
kidding.
with the food, too, by the way.
Some folks, there was a question about what happened to Max and Corey. I know we kind of talked about that yesterday on the preview we did of the Mosconi Cup, and obviously Justin Bergman selected as the 5th member of the team. I don't know, you can touch on it again briefly if you want, but
yeah,
he was basically playing lights out, right? Hard to deny.
Yeah, and and it really wasn't anything that Max and Corey did, and I can't even say it's something they didn't do. Just saw, all considered, we saw another level with Justin, and our job is to get the best team there.
Yeah, we want that cup again. We want that cup.
And just like Corey had kind of come from a little bit of nowhere last year to make the team. Not saying he like total nowhere, but I mean there was like a we had our own little list of how things were going, and and that's what happened.
Yeah.
So
tough decisions have to be made in professional sports. I know you said that.
Absolutely. Yeah, nothing. You hear about it all the time, and when you talk about other sports, there's always tough decisions. Of course, there's so much money involved when you talk about the other sports.
Yeah.
But there's money here involved for those guys as well. So, that's a consideration that, is going to not be great for 2 of the guys.
Right.
But they're true professionals, that being Corey and Max. And I'm pretty sure they're both going to be there just to try and get the team home. And
yeah, well, I saw some of the comments Corey had made in response to the posting from Matchroom about Justin, and very classy. What you expect from Corey? He's a class act. I don't know Max all that well, but I'm sure, he understood the situation, and yeah, like you said, hopefully those guys will be in Vegas to support the team. And
yeah, and Corey and Max both have, both been playing professionally a long time, and a lot of great guys out there, don't get me wrong, but 2 guys that, you're really never ever going to hear anything bad about.
Right.
And true ambassadors of the sport. And, and they'll be, hopefully, you to say it nicely, I guess you're let down pretty good, and it may be a letdown for longer for some than others, but I think they'll both be back fighting to try and get a spot on the team next year. So.
Well, not only is Justin playing great right now, as it showed in the International Open, but he's this. I think this will be his 4th Mosconi Cup, so he's got the experience. Jump shot there for Tina. Didn't get what she wanted though.
Yeah, and I think we could have won with any combination. I really do. I mean, they can say that Europeans are the favorite, and I can't deny it with some rankings and whatnot. But it's all about believing, applying pressure, and being able to keep your cool.
Yeah. Somebody was asking about the timing of the Moscone Cup. I don't know that Jeremy or I can necessarily answer that. It's a little earlier this year. I'm guessing probably had to do with hotel availability and things like
Yeah,
that. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know that Matchroom, was thrilled to schedule it over Thanksgiving, but knowing kind of how our events go in Vegas, and sometimes you're kind of at the mercy of what the hotel
Sure.
has available. And, I'll tell you, having been out there, it's a pretty large European crowd that comes out to the Moscone Cup, even in the U.S., and so I don't know that they're too worried about Thanksgiving, right? And I've seen quite a few people that on the U.S. side. I know a lot of our league operators are heading out and making it
Yeah, I think
a
we'll have
holiday out of it. So I don't think it's going to affect attendance at all. But
no.
I get what they're saying. And I don't. Again, I don't know, and I don't know if you
Well,
know.
it's
But
just like I don't, I live in Dallas, right? But I don't go to Cowboy games on Thanksgiving. I'm not a Cowboy fan really, anyways.
Right.
But if I was, I probably wouldn't. Thanksgiving's a special holiday, right? But at the same time, there's plenty of sports that run that week and that weekend, and now the Moscone Cup's a part of that for
Right.
this year. And I don't think it's, I think initially it was a shock factor for a lot of people, but I don't think it's that big a deal.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that go to Vegas for Christmas. I know a lot of people go to Vegas for New Year's.
Right.
A lot of people go to Vegas for whatever reason they can get, really. But okay, caught the 7 and was trying to go by that, and just caught the 6 a little thin to the pocket. That was probably why she caught more of the 7 than she wanted. Okay, touchy little safety here, though. If the 7 was off the rail another inch, the safety would be pretty easy. You just bank it back down and coast the cue ball behind the 8. But now that it's close, you could easily get this double kiss or not get the 7 where you want it. Oh, she's going to try and put it behind the 8. Watch outside pocket. This is not easy. This is where I wouldn't try to not hit the 8 here. I would try to go ahead and say, hey, it's kind of wanting to go into the 8. Go ahead and let me go ahead and put a little left English, and guarantee I go into the 8 heavy. I think if you try to avoid the 8 here, you might miss the 7. And you may not gain position on the 8 also. Didn't realize Tina was going to be banking that ball. So that tells you how tough it was of a cut shot.
question here about what's the most used Q-tip for pros. I don't know if there's one in particular. What do you use?
I'm currently using a Technodud by Chris Renfro at Altsville. It's a modified Elkmaster basically type of tip, which is a very popular tip. The different types of Elkmasters, a lot of Filipinos use those, but there's so many different tips now, and so many quality tips. It'd be hard for me to bet on any of the one tip. Oh, this is the tip to get.
Right. Just what you're comfortable with.
Sure. And it really comes down to styles again. A lot of people just really don't realize equipment, just like golf, comes down to your technique, your tempo, your body build. Your swing speed, you might call it.
Natalie rattles that 8 ball in the corner. Well,
Yeah,
folks, I would tell you to relax on the subject matter we discuss. It's a long race. We're going to talk about different things. You're welcome to turn down the volume if you don't like the current topic of conversation, but that's the benefit of it being our show, Jeremy. We get to talk about what we want.
Right.
So
we generally try to keep it to the ladies that are playing.
We do, but it's
Yeah.
a long race.
Yeah, there are
Sometimes it slows down.
And there are fans out there that want to take advantage of maybe getting their question answered that they've wondered for some time now. Great shot there. That's another kind of example of, I really think, Tina, just let it go, get the arm loose, be aggressive with the shooting. I think she can kind of take over in the 9 ball as well. I really do. Great shot.
Pockets that 9 in the corner, takes the lead, 3-2. Race to 9. You've really upset Ray Wrangle when you said you weren't a Cowboys fan, by the way.
Well, grew up, love you Blue Oilers, so. All right, these ladies are on a timeout, looks like.
Take a little bit of a timeout. While they do that, we're going to take a quick break. Hear a word from our friends at PullDog.com.
Tired of the same old when you're buying billiard supplies? Come shop with the big dogs at PullDog.com. You want pool cues? We've got over 700. Balls, cases, accessories, no problem. Want help with your game? How does hundreds of free training articles sound? Want to shop offline? We'll mail you a free catalog. Hit us up online, PullDog.com, or call 866-843-3294.
Ladies back at the table. Quick adjustment there to the rack requested by Tina Larsen. Tina now leading 3-2 in this race to 9.
Yeah, so we will, well, she went on to win the rest of them, Tina. We wouldn't, but most likely with this score set right here that we're going to get to see some 8-ball in our final.
Nice shot of the room here at Strokers in Palm Harbor.
Yeah, you can see all the defending champion banners.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Somebody's asking about the border battle, which is going on up in Niagara. I do believe that will be streamed. It won't be streamed by us because obviously we are here in Tampa where it's much warmer, by the way. But I do believe that'll be streamed. And if we can get a link to it from one of our league operators that's up running that tournament, we'll be sure to share that on our Facebook page.
So I guess that's an amateur, a 9-ball, our first
There
golden
it is.
break.
There it is.
So a good time for the adjustment on the rack.
Absolutely.
It looked like.
Tina Larsen now leading 4-2.
Yeah.
And this is big, Jeremy. Again,
Huge.
Natalie has really been dominant in the 9-ball format, but not so much in the 8-ball. So, you know, we're about on our 7th game of 9-ball now, and we're going to see 4 more, 5 more. But she can come out of this even or up a little bit. I like her chances of bringing this home, her 3rd championship. So, still a long way to go, but 9 on the break certainly helps.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the border battle. I guess that's an amateur Canada,
yeah,
U.S. Well,
Canada.
we have a little border battle going on right here.
I think there's yeah, we do got a little bit of a border battle. That's a good point. I think there's like 96 teams up there or something like that. So
oh, okay.
It's become a big event, very big event.
We had for a few years we had a professional team event, kind of modeled after the Moscone Cup, which was the border battle. It was Team Canada against Team USA.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Just going to look up details of that real quick, see if I can find some more information on the border battle while we're in between racks. One of our league operators, Gord Fesident, so kind to post some pictures. 96 teams, 760 players, 12 states and provinces, 37,000 in prize money. So
There you go.
good luck to all the teams competing up in Niagara in the border battle this weekend. Should be a fun event for them. And if we happen to see a live stream for that, we will make sure we share that on our Facebook page, the APA Facebook page, which if you have not yet liked, go ahead and do that now. Get notifications when we go live throughout the U.S. Amateur Championship, plus all the great content we post.
All right, nice break off there with she's got a little cross-side bank if she wants to take it on. Very makeable. Got to kind of manipulate the cue ball a little bit to hold for the two. And I think it was you and I talking yesterday or day before, Jason. Is there any other sport in the world that has more streaming shown every week?
I don't think so.
Okay, so Little Fortune also going Tina's way, not only with the 9 on the break, but double bank the 1 there. And the reason why she missed the bank short is she was really concerned about holding the cue ball for some type of shot on the 2. But it is amazing to me. I think I'm just,
All the streaming.
All the streaming, yeah. I mean,
it's really interesting. If you ever come out to our event in Vegas, our World Championships, or even our Pool Player Championships, you're now seeing individual teams and people that are live streaming their matches as well.
Yeah.
So at any given time, I mean, we can only cover so many matches, but with the crowdsourcing aspect, you've got dozens and dozens of matches being live streamed from our events now by people that just want to, to allow the people back home, their friends and teammates to tune in, which I think is awesome and something that we encourage and we love to see. So,
well, I think, it probably is the ideal sport to have streaming, so much streaming, with a stationary pool table and whatnot, being inside. But I was thinking of other ones, maybe bowling. Maybe they stream a lot of bowling that I don't know about. It'd almost have to be some type of indoors to have just a ton of streaming, right?
Yeah, because it's, it's hard for the camera to track, if it's a big field but
manpower and all that.
I mean, my kids are fairly young, but as they get into sports and things, who knows? Maybe I'll be live streaming them on my phone. I don't know who would want to watch, but you never know, right?
Well, you got family,
yeah.
So there you go.
Grandma and Grandpa want to tune in.
Okay, she needs a little bounce on the cue ball to get this thin cut on the 4. I think she got there. And this is where I'm saying also just free up, free the motion, free the swing up. Do what you do, which I think is really knocking the balls in, is I think her strength. Or one of her strengths, I'm saying. Obviously, you can't win these types of tournaments or get back to the finals and win it twice without being very knowledgeable as well. But it's just stuff like that.
Nice.
If she needs to apply spin, she can do so. If she needs to draw the ball, she can do so. Just, free it up.
There's a question here on if Jeremy plays challenge matches. I'm guessing you've challenged a few people from time to time or allowed people that want to square off against
I
Double
used to
J.
play a lot of them, actually. I talk about pool, I guess, more than anything now, and I do a lot of teaching. But still play some matches. Recently not very successful, but that's all right.
Oh, Raymond. It's time to say goodbye. I love the power of the comments.
Okay, I don't think she allowed Natalie to get an offensive shot here. Maybe a bank or maybe a jump shot if she wanted to use the jump cue, but she can definitely see the bottom of the 7. Oh, she may have the bank. I just don't think she can get right at the cut shot. Maybe so. Oh, yeah, she can. So a little light with the safety there, and that's going to be a little upsetting for Tina. Oh, all she could do is bank it.
Oof.
So all the little things adding up now in the final. The 9 on the break. Hit the 7 really well right there. could have fallen easily. And
Momentum seems to favor Tina at the moment.
now Tina's looking at the rail first, I think, but I think she'll recognize that she can play ball first on this. There's no real concern of missing it. So you hit about half the ball and then come slowly towards the 8, one rail. Yeah, I like that. It's a nice shot. Now she's got a nice little angle. Actually, maybe a little too much, but that's okay. And for her, again, don't get so technical. Don't try to get so perfect with the cue ball. I think keep that arm nice and loose, come across the table, and take the cut shot. She may go 2 rails back and forth. Just depends. Oh, she played it light and overcut it.
Bring Natalie back to the table. Josh is asking about the border battle. Yeah, you know, he's saying he'd never heard of it, and he's been playing for 4 years. I think it's one of those events that is more so played by the leagues that are right around there.
That
Michigan,
area, right.
Canada. I think there's like 12 different league areas, so a lot of our leagues now do some regional events. I know we've got down in Vegas, we've got the Southwest Challenge, Southeast Challenge, obviously in the southeast part of the country, the Mid-Atlantic Challenge, the Northeast Challenge. There's an Indiana State tournament, Michigan State tournament. Up in the Northwest, we've got the Northwest Invitational. So lots of different regional events that league operators have kind of gotten together in smaller groups for their regions, as Natalie picks up a big rack there.
Yeah, and a great position shot from the 8 to the 9 after an unfortunate miss by Tina.
But typically with those regional events, they're only open to the league areas that kind of participate in running them. So, you know, if you're in Florida, I don't know that your league operator is going to be involved in the border battle up in Michigan or
Sure.
in Niagara Falls, but they might be involved in the Southeast Challenge. So that's something you want to ask your league operator about, but typically just kind of depends on where you are in the country and what's available. But always looking for more opportunities for our members to be able to play in tournaments that have more than, you know, their league area, which is a cool experience for everybody. Oh, the inaugural Mid-Atlantic Challenge also this weekend. That's in Virginia Beach.
Okay. Going to give up a nice shot on the 1 with the 2 near. Now she is lefty, so she'll have to stretch a bit or play it right-handed maybe, or with the crutch, the bridge. And the 1's off the rail enough, though. She should be able to hold the cue ball pretty easily for the 2.
This is the 8th game of the 8th rack in the 9-ball set. 11 racks of 9-ball, potentially up to 6 games or 6 racks of 8-ball. Again, that's 11 for 9-ball, 6 for 8-ball. The first player to win 9 will be your champion.
Okay, going to keep it simple here and just, she got straight in there, so kind of cut off what she could do. And she'll play the safety here, knocking the 3 away, trying to coast the cue ball up behind the 8, 9, and 7, I believe. Pretty doable here. Got a big margin for errors. Oh, she went for the cut. Okay. Well, I'd said loosen that arm up. I just felt like that one she may go ahead and play safe anyways, but don't mind it one bit. Okay, touchy shot right here. This isn't easy. If she's trying to draw the ball down by the 7-9, this is touchy. Very touchy. Could lose it. Could run right. Oh, she hit it perfect. Oh, watch out, cue ball. Okay. Never a doubt.
No sudden movements. That ball just hanging there in that edge of that pocket.
Okay, here's the jump cue maybe. Or is she going to kick to the bottom rail? What would be the top rail, excuse me. Looks like she may go up in the air here. I don't think she'll have a problem at all getting over the 7.
Natalie Jacob at the table here,
Yeah,
trying to even things up.
oh, how much of the 3 she can see. Yeah, that's why she kicked behind it, and that was totally intentional. Trying to knock it down table and use the 6 as a snooker. And it appears she can get at a piece of the 3. But the way it's set up, she may go ahead and, if she can bank it back down and use the 4, oh, she can get at the right side of it. So that's going to work out, I think. Maybe not. It's real close.
If you're just joining us, you're watching championship final of the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship. We are at Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida. Wrapping up the women's division. Open division will begin tomorrow morning. 128 players expected, including, I think, about a half dozen former champions. One of which, the defending champion, Abram Shade from Peoria, Illinois. He really burst on the scene last year.
Yeah. You told me that was his first time, right?
Yeah.
First time?
First time, young guy. Picked up a huge win against Brian Parks, knocked him to the one-loss side, and then dominated in the finals against a gentleman from Canada. His name escapes me at the moment, but plays fast, too. Moves around the table fast. Picked
Young
up the
kid
nickname
then, right?
Hurricane Abe, yeah. The folks on the stream pegged him with the nickname Hurricane Abe. He's a fun guy to watch, so it should be an exciting 3 days of competition in that. Encourage you guys to join us tomorrow for more streaming coverage. Can make things easy on yourself by liking our Facebook page or subscribing to our YouTube channel, getting those notifications with each match that goes live.
Okay, I think this is a kick from behind the 4. Send the 4 down here into all this congestion. Maybe not. Maybe she can get straight at it. Oh, she tried to cut it in. Look at that. Oh, she fluked the ball in, but
Got
then
a little lucky in that.
Yeah, the cue ball really got hemmed up behind the 9. This is going to be one tough kick shot. Ooh, man. There's a route, but she can't reach it being, well, she shoots pretty well right-handed, but I still don't think she can lean over the table and reach it. Cue ball just kind of welded to that 9. And I see a 3-rail angle she's looking at, but I think the angle to really get at the 4 off the 3rd rail, the 7's in the way. So if she beats going by the 7, she'll probably go a little long on the kick. Yeah, like this. And it was just a tough position. There wasn't a whole lot she could do. Okay, she should shoot the 4 and come up above the 5. And this is the 1 point. You may come down for the 7 in the side. You got a lot of room for error there, and should naturally happen pretty easy. I like corners more than sides, but that one's pretty available out in the middle. Well, she didn't get much angle there, and that's surprising. The 7 does pass the 9, so now I don't think she'll force the cue ball down for the 7 in the side, but I think she'll come 2 rails right at the 7 for the 7 in the lower left-hand corner.
If you're looking for the brackets, you can find those at compusport.us. You want to see how the field of players is panned out in the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship, or you want to see when the guys play tomorrow or in the days ahead, you can go to that website, compusport.us.
Well, that's a perfect cue ball she had right there from the 5 to the 7. Got a nice angle. Now the key here is stay off the rail with the cue ball after shooting the 7 in. That way you can keep getting that nice position from the 8 to the 9. And while she kept it off, she got maybe a little funny on this ball. Does she have to go forward 2 rails maybe? Or is she going to draw it back? Okay, it looks like forward 2 rails, probably playing the 9 in the same corner as the 8. Oh, she just punched it 1 rail. Good control.
Natalie pockets that 9 in the corner, ties things up 4 apiece in this race to 9. Natalie will have the break. Got a minute. Mention the special offer from our friends at pooldog.com. They have on their Summit Pro Low deflection shaft. Comes with a Kamui Clear soft tip. If you've been thinking about upgrading your equipment to a low deflection shaft, but you don't want to spend a whole lot of money to do it, you can go to their website. They've got a nice offer there, $134. 60-day guarantee on that too if you happen to get it and it doesn't work for you. I think you can send it back to them, get the refund. So good opportunity to try out some new equipment there. Is Natalie with the break.
Yeah, she's made a few on the break. She's got a shot on the 2, the 3 right there near the spot for the opposite side pocket. So I'm kind of thinking good chance of a break and run here in game number 9 to try and snatch the lead back. Okay, she stretched across. That's always the longest stretch, cross corner, corner to corner. That's the hardest one to reach. So just hit this in nice and easy, come out about 10 or 12 inches with the cue ball with the 3 in the side. The one thing she doesn't want here is straight in on the 3 ball. Straight in on the 3 ball causes little problems getting on the 4. If she's got a little angle, becomes a little easier. Now, if she is straight in, she can draw back underneath the 4 for the 4 on the side or in the upper corner by the 5. Love to go forward here and then play the 4 in the lower right corner where she's standing. That would be ideal. Taking a lot of time on it, though, so it must be a little tricky.
Another question about the border battle. I'm assuming they're not talking about the border battle going on here at Strokers between Natalie Jacob of Canada and Tina Larsen of the United States, but the border battle getting ready to begin up in Niagara, the APA border battle. That is a regional event. 96 teams, 37,000 in prize money up for grabs there.
Well, it looks like she's left her with not much angle on this 3-ball, and I'm not so sure the 4 passes the 8 in the side or even the 9 in the other corner. So if that's the case, difficult. Oh, nice stroke.
Jay, when you go to CompuSport.us, you just click on My Tournament, select the U.S. Amateur Championship. You'll have the option to choose the women's division or the open division. You can see the entire field there.
Okay, pretty nice effort there. Getting the snooker is not going to be one that gives you ball in hand, but sometimes that's all you can do is just, you know, kind of take your chances on your opponent's kick shot. And Natalie taking some time because it's not about, hey, how am I going to hit this? It's about what am I going to do with it. The hit is fairly secure. She was trying to create that separation, and she did it. Great shot.
About an hour into this match now, a little over an hour. Here in the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship. Got underway yesterday morning here at Strokers in Palm Harbor. We've been here all day today, down to the final round. Tina Larsen, Natalie Jacob. Tina trying to pick up her 3rd U.S. Amateur Championship title. Natalie trying to secure her 1st. She would also become the first Canadian woman to win this event.
So a little tactical play here in the 9th game. With one of them trying to grab that lead again. Only got 3 more games of 9-ball left, including this one. Okay, Tina's been pretty aggressive on these shots where there's like, can shoot at it or try to play the safety. Tell you, this is another 50-50 because the safety is pretty easy. Just trying to lay the cue ball behind the 7. I think that's what she's going to go for. Just a nice light one off the 4. Cue ball behind the 7. Didn't get the most friendly bump on the 7, but still left a tough shot, that's for sure.
Pace of play has slowed quite a bit here. We started off with kind of that rapid action, and things have kind of slowed to a crawl here as the ladies have buckled down.
Okay, trying to pop it in the upper left, I think. Oh no, the upper right. What a shot.
Nice.
And what a stroke that Tina's got. Really a lot of power. Sometimes looks very effortless as well. So it's right there. She just got to knock this one in, get down table for the 7. Very natural to come across for the 8 in the side. So Tina should retain that lead. Get it back at least. Okay. That should do it. Just kind of broke that little, that extra 2 or 3 inches it got right there. If it would have stopped 3 or 4 inches ago, that ball shot would come a little funny either for the side or the corner, but now in good position to come up to the top rail and back down.
Tina pulls ahead one more time. Now leads 5-4. Race to 9. Just 2 games of 9-ball to be played.
So over the halfway point. No, not yet. Not yet on the 8-ball, I don't think, right? It's 11-6, I believe.
Yeah, so we've got, well, past that, yeah. We're just past that halfway point.
Right, but they're pulling balls 8-ball. I think they need told that it's not.
Oh, were they starting to pull?
Yeah, they pulled the balls out. It's not quite the 8-ball part of the format. Okay, so now they're putting them back up. There you go. Jason was very confident with a lot of experience that someone would notify him.
That's tricky when they've been playing a race to 5 throughout the tournament and you get into the extended race. Tina a little more well-versed in some of the rules here at the U.S. Amateur Championship, having been here several times. If you're interested in competing in the U.S. Amateur Championship, you can sign up today on our website, usam.poolplayers.com. Be entered into a preliminary round. Top players at the preliminary rounds advance to the championship rounds here in Tampa. Be back here at Strokers again next year. Tina asking for a modification of that rack there.
And after that happened last time, the 9 got snapped in. I think that was in game number 4, 3 or 4.
So here's a question for you, Jeremy, while we wait.
Oh, boy.
8-ball, it's 8 on the break. 9-ball, 9 on the snap. Why isn't it the same? Why don't we call it 9 on the break?
I don't know.
Isn't that weird? I mean, I've always wondered why the difference there.
Good question.
I typically still call it 9 on the break, but I know it's commonly referred to that way. I have no idea why.
Good question, though. I thought it was going to be a little more educational question, but.
Well, it is. We just don't have the educational answer.
Well,
8 on the break, 9 on the snap.
I thought you were going to, like a world history question or something like that. I guess it may be a little bit of world history.
Yeah.
Where did the snap
Somewhere. It
come
started
from?
Somewhere.
I know in The Color of Money he said it a few times.
Oh, really? Maybe that's
on
where
the
it
snap,
came from
Vincent,
there.
or the
Maybe
girl did, Mary
where it
Elizabeth
came from.
Master Antonio or whatever her name. On the snap, Vincent, I think so, if I remember right.
All right.
Okay, so dry break there. So we'll get Natalie back to the table with a funny 1-ball shot. Maybe a 3-ball combination on the 1-8-5. It's a very risky shot, of course, but that's the offensive shot that I see. Probably maybe kick behind the 1 like she did earlier, kind of knocking it down table. Maybe bank the 1 away and draw behind the 3 and the 2. Require a nice stroke. If she could get to the right side of the 1, she could clip off the right and try to play the 8. All right, she kicked into it.
Seeing a lot of Canadian love here on the comments. Are we pro-Canada here on the viewership? Everybody rooting for Canada? I haven't seen much pro-USA.
Well, the Canadians are very vocal about their countrymen. I say that in the best way, men and women, but just, you know, they're citizens, I guess. Very supportive. You see that a lot, you know, around the world. You know, in America we have all the big sports, and you know, Natalie's obvious. You know, she's not the best player in Canada.
Right.
You know, but she's a solid player, but they just support whoever's doing well in any sports.
Right.
You know, and
a lot of national pride.
Yeah, and on the big level, like, you know, pool around the world, some of those guys are some of the biggest heroes for those countries.
Yeah.
You know, Guy Young Kim for Korea, and you got some Chinese Taipei players that are huge. Of course, Jennifer Chen, she was a big star in Chinese Taipei when she was doing real well on the women's tour. You know, kind of like Efren as well, I guess you might say. Efren, a very special kind of person too.
Right here, he's like Michael Jordan over in the Philippines. Is that true?
It's pretty unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah. I was there my first trip or second trip. I've been there about 7 times, I think. But no lie, we did a bunch of exhibitions, and there was a few of us, and me and Johnny were up playing at Efren and Bustamante at the 6th floor Mega Mall in Manila, huge mall. And I don't know how many people were there, 15,000 maybe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, they were
Crazy.
hanging off the rafters. It was like a rock concert. It was barricaded up afterwards.
Oh, wow.
And we had security with M16s while we were doing the autographs. It was like a rock concert. I swear, they're pushing on the barricades.
Wow.
Yeah, and they wanted our autograph, but it was mainly to get Efren's. You know,
Right.
That's what it was mainly all about. But yeah, you walk around with them in the street, you're just going to get mauled. People
Wow.
love them.
That's
so.
pretty cool.
No, it's awesome. And he's a guy that treats his country well, so it's not just about the pool.
Tina's got her jump cue out here.
No, she needs to get a cushion here, and we'll get back to the action. But, yeah, you know, many times I was over there, and almost every commercial break I would see Efren on a commercial.
Really?
Whether it was San Miguel Beer or
Wow.
Honda. He was with Honda for a little while. And Honda of the Philippines anyways.
Yeah.
Well, there's our format. Okay, touchy little shot right here. She's trying to get behind the. Is she trying to make this? I think she might be trying to bank it in and bring the cue ball by the 5 like that.
Tina Larsen at the table here.
And with a 1-game lead at 5-4. And might kick this one with some speed here, trying to luck something in.
We are in the 10th rack of 9 balls. One more rack of 9 ball before they switch to 8 ball.
Pretty tempting to bank the 3 at a hanging 5 ball and try and swing the cue ball on the 9 here. Maybe get an early win. Got a lot going on in a positive manner with this shot. I'm not sure what she's doing, but it looks like that may be the case. Yeah, she was trying to do just that. Caught the double kiss.
My man Skip Maloney tuning in. Skip does a lot of the coverage for some of the billiard magazines. One of the more thorough journalists I've come across in the billiard industry.
Oh, nice shot there, spinning the cue ball off the 3 with a lot of heavy right English, trying to get at that 5 ball. So this is a funny shot as well. I like her going for the bank, cross side. 2 rails for the cue ball for position on the 4. Now, if she plays the 3 up underneath the 9 and 7, that can be dangerous. If you play the cue ball up underneath the 9 and 7, not so much. Okay, nice touch it looks like.
Much to the approval of the folks here at Strokers, which has really filled up. You can hear even through our headsets here, you can hear the noise level has increased dramatically as the evening has moved along. Of course, we have no idea what's happening on the other side of our booth here, but it sounds busy over there. Busy over there, Steve?
Yeah, you can see how devastating that safety is from this camera angle. She was even looking at trying to kick to this bottom rail, which is really tough. Yeah, I've been impressed with the crowd here all week, really. Which I've heard nothing but good things about the owner and the staff. And Rolando at the door, he works his tail off.
Oh, yeah. Jose Del Rio, the owner here at Strokers. Of course, we've already mentioned Freddie, the fantastic chef in the back, keeping everybody well fed throughout the week. This is not what I would say your typical pool room food. Quite the extensive menu here at Strokers.
Yeah, and I think that probably carries into such good business for him.
Yeah. Great tables, great table conditions, great food. A lot of renovations they've done here the last couple of years, too, at Strokers, both inside and out.
Okay, hard to get a good hit here and hard to get a lot of power on the cue ball. That's the problem. She got the accuracy, but she didn't get the power to be able to get a rail.
Right. So she did make contact with her object ball, but she did not send it to a rail after contact. You saw Mark Lancaster come award ball in hand to Tina.
Okay, kind of important, you know, the 7, it goes to both pockets, but it's a little bit on the side of the 9. So when you come down the table, you really want to come on what would be, if you're looking at your screen now, the far side of the 7 to play the 7 in the near corner pocket. That way, if you get a little funny, you're not really running into the 9 with the cue ball. You can avoid the 9 much easier. So it goes to both, like I said, but you'd much rather come down the right side of the table here with the 9 leaning a little over on the left. Well, she got a lot out of that cue ball. Pretty nice stroke and kept that angle, that definitely needed angle, get from the 7 to the 8. Okay, nice shot. So now we're going to have to see some of that power that we've seen from Tina because she's pretty straight here. So anytime you're straight, the cue ball movement isn't so easy. You have to usually, you know, add a little steam to the cue ball to get it to move. And that's one thing that, of course, if you're trying to get better at the game, the game's easier played with a little angle. Now the shots become just a little tougher because, you know, you don't have the visual of a straight in like you do right here. But as far as whenever the game's really getting played well, it's all about cue ball movement. That needs to go. It's got to go. The one good thing for her, she's lefty. So I don't think she'll have to use the bridge. She may be able to reach over the side of the table to get at the 9 now. I don't know if she can go offensive or not. Okay, she's going. She's not wasting any time on this long rail bank.
That's tough. Good opportunity here for Natalie, though, to draw even once again.
Yeah, with only one game of 9-ball remaining.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, you know, Tina won that last set with the 8-ball at the end, and you kind of forget about that now that you're in the final. But if you look at the ratio, she's in a lot better spot, tied now at 5 games apiece, rather than being down 4-2 like she was in the last set.
Yep, so we're all even at 5-5. We've got one more rack of 9-ball. Then we'll shift over to the 8-ball set for up to 6 games. And kind of as we expected, Jeremy, I mean, neck and neck.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see anyone pull away.
Nice view here of Strokers. Been the home of the U.S. Amateur Championship since 2009. As some folks had asked about any plans to move it. No current plans to move it. We kind of like the home we found here at Strokers. Players seem to love the Tampa area. Of course, I can remember back when we were in Hartford in November, and it's not quite as picturesque up in Hartford. Nothing against Connecticut, but I'd rather spend a week in November in Tampa over Hartford.
Yeah. Kind of agree with you there.
Tina preparing that final 9-ball rack. Natalie will have the break. Double J, you're getting a lot of positive feedback as a commentator. No surprise there. One of the best in the industry. Thrilled to have him here at the U.S. Amateur Championship before he heads out to Vegas and prepares for maybe this most important tournament of the year. One that you're not actually playing in, but leading a team along with Johan Reising.
Representing our country. And
yeah. Exciting time of year for you, I'm sure.
Okay, so she had made a ball in the break in a minute, but now got one down. A nice shot on the 1, but very difficult position on the 2. And thanks everyone that's thrown me any of us some compliments. Really appreciated. Because definitely, if doing a bad job, I definitely want to know about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get that shored up a bit.
Skip, if you go to the U.S. Amateur Championship section of our website, poolplayers.com, you'll see the Hall of Champions there. Maybe Steve can pull up a link when he gets a chance. You can see all the past winners. Tina Larsen, obviously a 2-time champion. Natalie Jacob. Oh,
miscue there. So went from very difficult position for Natalie, but now Tina should be able to get position. Still, she's got to do some work here, unless she wants to just shoot a little gap between the 6-4 and take some distance on the 2. But I think she can go 3 rails to the end rail. Kind of set the cue ball up on the right side rail near the 1. Come 1, 2 rails below the 4, hitting the side rail, a little above the 3 and dropping the cue ball down below the 9. I think that works. Yeah, kind of that angle she's looking at there. I think that shot works. And you can kind of get to let your stroke out a little bit too, which is always good.
Tina plays out of Bank Shots back in Indiana. I'm sure some family and friends of hers at Bank Shots tuning in, watching her try to secure her 3rd U.S. Amateur Championship title. I think I saw her daughter was tuning in a little bit earlier, rooting Mom on.
Yeah,
she was sweating that comeback earlier on against Natalie.
A hot seat match. Okay, I think pretty good effort there. I'm not so sure she got the complete snooker, and Natalie has shown us she's pretty inept at kicking at the ball, so don't feel like Tina's going to get ball in hand here.
Tina's daughter still tuning in. Brian Parks tuning in, 5-time U.S. Amateur Champion. Again, we want to thank all of the folks tuning in. If you're enjoying our coverage, feel free to hit the share button for us. Share it with all of your friends and family on Facebook. That goes a long way in allowing us to continue to bring you this free streaming coverage.
Okay, well, should just be a one rail kick shot here. I like the path she's taken. Looks like just a nice little bit of left English, nice medium speed. Should hit it. She may get her up underneath the 3 here. Watch out. Still a nice hit there by Tina. Left a long shot on the 2, and really one, I don't know if Natalie can afford to try to move the cue ball much. She may just have to settle for a long shot on the 3. Tries to move the cue ball a lot to the left side of the table and back over. That 4 and the 6 could really come into play.
Christy, make sure you tell the kids that Jeremy and I said hello. I'm assuming those are Tina's grandkids that are also tuning in, watching Tina try to secure that 3rd title. That's one of my favorite things, Jeremy, about the streaming with our members, is being able to share it with their family and friends that can't be here to watch them in person. And
yeah, this is a
really cool thing to be able to tune in and watch.
A national title, and this is something that definitely family wants to sweat.
Also, some folks asking about the Dennis and Shane match. We don't have any input on what's going on. Does that start today? Is that already underway?
Yeah, that started tonight.
So I don't know. I don't have any idea what the score would be there. I'm sure if you
I don't either.
Look around hard enough on the internet, you can find some kind of update. Maybe check azbilliards.com or.
Yeah, somewhere on Facebook.
Yeah,
unless you're friendless, which I don't think anybody is on Facebook.
Yeah. What is that? A race to 100? Is that what you said?
I think 120.
120.
I think 120, and I'm going with the American. I love Dennis, but he's a great guy, great player. I mean, either one of them could win. I mean, it's just as pure a toss-up as you might have, but I kind of feel like Shane's just Shane.
Shane, yeah, he's a tough one.
Yeah. Let it get a little more gray and a little slower for Shane, and maybe I'll bet against him when he's about 60, I guess. But I still don't think I will. Very determined.
How old is Shane now?
35 or 36.
36. So he's getting close to that Hall of Fame eligibility. I'm guessing he'll be a first ballot guy.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yep.
And that's pretty impressive to be a first ballot guy. I mean, even like a Jeanette Lee was not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
When she was. So that's pretty impressive to get in on your first first-year eligibility.
It is because there's so many that are not still in that
Right.
are very have the qualifications
Deserving,
yeah, exactly.
Oh, here's an update. 16-9 Shane. So there you go. Oh, somebody else said 17-9 Shane. So somewhere in that range. I'm confident that Shane is leading Dennis. Dennis Hatch, that is.
Dennis Orcullo.
Oh, it's Dennis Ocorio.
Oh,
Okay, I
yeah.
don't know why I was thinking it was Dennis Hatch.
No, Dennis Orcullo. Yeah.
Oh, that will be a tough match,
Hatch is a great player.
But when you said I'm going with the American, I thought, well, Dennis is American
Oh,
too.
okay,
But that
yeah.
makes sense. That makes more sense now.
Well, Dennis, if it was back when he played all the time, Dennis, I thought Hatch, it was between him and Johnny and who else am I leaving out that were the top American players back in the 90s and the early 2000s? Rodney, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess that's
Rodney
the other
Morris.
one I'm thinking of. And there were a lot of great ones, don't get me wrong, but I thought those three, so if Johnny or Rodney or Hatch were, if we could turn back time, I think they could give Shane one heck of a run for his money. But at the current time, yeah, it's Orcullo. Okay, she's going to need some speed. Good speed on the cue ball. Okay, so got right in that gray zone a little bit. She can roll forward, I think, and take a thinner cut on the 9 ball. She can draw back to the side rail and get back over a little closer to the 9 ball. If I'm her, though, I'd like to sure get that first shot at the money ball, so nothing crazy on the 7.
This is the final game of the 9-ball set. I think Tina would be thrilled to come out of the 9-ball set with the lead.
Yeah, Tina's an experienced player and, 2-time winner here. Oh, great shot. And I was thinking about it earlier. I wonder if she told herself, hey, let's try and get, 4 of these or 5 of these 11 games, something
split
like
it,
that.
yeah,
Something basically, a basic split. But then I thought again, her being so experienced, that could bother you trying to get to a number. Just give your heart out every game. See what happens.
Yeah, as a reminder, these two squared off 2 rounds ago in the hot seat match, and Natalie was up 4-1. Tina came all the way back, won that match 5-4. She takes the lead here, 6-5 in the race to 9.
Yeah, so we'll switch it to 8-ball.
Go to 8-ball. We're going to take a quick break while they prepare the rack. Hear a quick word from our friends.
Tired of the same old when you're buying billiard supplies? Come shop with the big dogs at PullDog.com. You want pull cues? We've got over 700. Balls, cases, accessories, no problem. Want help with your game? How does hundreds of free training articles sound? Want to shop offline? We'll mail you a free catalog. Hit us up online, PullDog.com, or call 866-843-3294.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Here was game number 12. Tina Larsen leading 6-5. If you're just joining us, this is the Ladies U.S. Amateur coming to you from Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida. And this is our final. Jeremy Jones with Jason Bowman from the APA. And I think Tina's in a good position with the lead here. She got a stripe down on the break, so the rules are take what you make. So recognizing that there's a lot of congestion in this rack, right? So I think she was going to do, I thought what I liked a second ago was open the 15-9, maybe tie up that ball on the bottom rail. This is not, in my mind, it just doesn't look like a runnable table to me. And you never know, but, and I don't mean just for the level. These ladies play great. I'm talking about anybody's level. Okay, so trying to get some balls down there near all those problems. Now it looks to me like the solids are shootable. I mean, I think she can run the solids. I think the 2 goes all the way down past the 7. I think with those 2 balls there, she can get some type of short position on it. Now, well, it's a little steep. So now she's going to play a 2-ball across the side, knowing that it's a very difficult for Tina to run the balls. Although I do kind of see an option for Tina to try and run out. She can make the 9. She can come up on what is the 12, which is the ball that's kind of in between the 3 and the 5. Play it off the 3 ball. Open the pocket for the 10 on the side rail. We'll see. She wants to. Okay, she got kind of straight on this 15 a little bit. So now it's going to be difficult to try and move the cue ball.
Tina came into this match undefeated. Been a great run through the bracket for her. Of course, Natalie's only loss coming at the hands of Tina 2 rounds ago. So this final match is single elimination.
Well, I think she needs to go for the run out here. Again, with so many solids on the table and just 3 stripes, it's going to be very easy for Natalie to maneuver and play a lot of safeties. And I like this option here. Either play it naturally in the pocket or off the 1 in the side, one of the 2, and watch the cue ball try to open the 10. So I like her taking a chance on trying to run out here. Okay, she got the balls open, but I think the cue ball got stuck to that ball near the side pocket, though, and I'm not so sure she can shoot at the 2. She can't shoot at the 2. She's really elevated on a 3-5 combination, a 5-3 combination, so it'll be the purple 4 in the lower right corner. All right, so you can see the starter on the 12. She's going to shoot this with the top right English. Most likely come out and try and get on the ball that's nearest where she's standing, which I think is the 10 ball. She could come backwards and play the 10 on the side. She felt like she couldn't get enough inside English on the 12 to come out in between the 2 and the 7 with the cue ball.
If you're joining us late, you're watching the championship round of this year's Women's U.S. Amateur Championship, brought to you by the American Pool Players Association. Our streaming coverage provided by our friends at PoolDog.com.
Okay, got the cue ball out nice there and now. I guess the 8 doesn't go by the 7 in the side because you would figure she would shoot the 10 ball first and then leave the 14. And I still probably would, be honest with you, shoot the 10 first and then the 14, even if I had to come up for the 8 in the right side pocket. Still like that better than having to shoot the 10 and take on the 8 in the upper left. Maybe not. It's real close.
Tina having a little conversation with herself there.
Yeah, well, in our sport, you got to be
Yeah.
your caddy and therapist and best friend, all that, all in one. That's kind of where the position I would look at for the 8 in the side there, and that tells me for sure it doesn't pass the 7 in the side. So a little top inside English, not much inside, just a little bit of left. Be aggressive coming up that side rail. Okay, pretty good. And that's the safer side, meaning she was always going to have a shot from there. The degree of difficulty got a little bit more than maybe she wanted, but at least she's not up underneath the 7 with the cue ball with no shot. Okay.
She
There
got
we
it.
go. So a 2-game lead.
Tina pockets that 8 in the side. Now leads 7-5. Needs just 2 big games to secure her 3rd U.S. Amateur Championship title. We are inching ever closer, Jeremy. Tina will have the break. Tina's grandkids going crazy back in Indiana.
And Tina stuck with pretty much that second ball break the entire part of the 8-ball format here in the U.S. Amateur.
She really gets that 8-ball rolling on
Yeah,
her
she
breaks.
does.
We saw a couple near 8 on the breaks a couple rounds ago from her.
I think she just got 1 stripe down, I believe. And so going to have a tough starter here.
Fantasy football.
Okay. Is that your guy, the tight end?
Yeah.
There you go.
Jeremy saw me fist pumping here and wondering what I was fist pumping about mid-match here, mid-rack. And
Well, yeah, I would have guessed you were a L.A. Rams fan before a Charger fan, and I think she just fouled, right? No? Let's see. Did she make one of each is what she made on the break? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, she did. Okay, she's good. Actually, she just made a solid, so no, she's got it down. The overhead kind of fools with me a little bit on what ball's what sometimes. So in a good position now.
Yeah, our setup here at Strokers, we are in the back of the room. We don't actually have a view of the actual table. We rely on the same shot you guys see online. So sometimes it's a little challenging. Ball color sometimes with the lighting. And
I'll tell you, she's got a shot at the 6 right now, but I think maybe she should take the shot on the 5 and the side and drop down for the 6 in the opposite side. I think that makes it to where it's a little safer way to play it. If she shoots the 6 and has to make the cue ball travel up into that position it's in now, well, it could get away from you. That's what she's going to look at. She's going to look at shooting the 6 and coming up in that position she's in. But if you can see, the 6 does pass in the side. So I may look at shooting the 5 and dropping the cue ball right between the 15-11 downward. For what is a little bit of a tougher shot in the side pocket on the 6, but not much. Okay, this is okay. Just, can't run into what is the 13 with the cue ball, I don't think, and have a shot. So you got to have really nice control. She put a lot of speed on it. So she's definitely coming for the 3 and kind of wondering what she's going to do with the 5. Little elevated on the 3 as well.
Hmm. Did we check and see if that pocket had something stuffed in it all day long? That particular pocket just been unkind. Doesn't matter who it's been all day. That lower pocket's been a little bit of an issue. That lower corner.
Yeah, and with the 10, a little funny there. It only goes to one pocket with the 8 just below it. Kind of felt like that Natalie might take kind of pull on the reins a little bit here and don't go so offensive. And maybe it has 2 pockets, but it sure looked like to me it only had one, that being the 10 ball. It's near the 8, so. She's going to attack on the 11. Can't afford to miss. Okay, nice shot.
Mike's lobbying for a shot clock. I wouldn't argue with that, but would drastically change things. We talked about that a little earlier. Was that today or yesterday? We were talking how that impacts things at a tournament like the Moscone Cup and how challenging that can be when you only have 30 seconds to determine what you're going to do.
Yeah, and,
we're going to give them a little bit of a break. They are amateurs. I know they're very high-level amateurs, but
there may be a number out there for these ladies or the open players this weekend as far as. I don't think it's 30 seconds.
That's
that's
not
pretty
time,
short.
Yeah,
you want to see the best pool with these players. They come a long ways. They put in a lot of time. They don't play for a living where, like most of us do, to where we should be in stroke and we play more than one event with a shot clock and whatnot. With the amateurs, I think, if it gets ridiculous, I think there should be something implemented where you can warn them.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But as far as a shot clock, I think without them playing on it all the time, I think you're going to see not the quality of pool that is deserving for these players.
Does pretty much every pro tournament have a shot clock? I mean,
No, not everyone,
no?
but they they pay attention though. If
Yeah.
if it gets if it gets out of hand, they'll put you on the shot clock.
Yeah.
So, and then there's players that are known to be slower.
Sure.
But it's definitely something that always plays a role in the Moscone Cup. It seems like.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Some way or another.
We do in our Vegas tournaments. We do a sudden death type rule. So if you're so far along in the match and you're not up to a certain point,
yeah,
sudden death is implemented. So there are some rules to that effect. Not exactly a shot clock.
Okay. I think she can get on this next ball on the side here and drop down. Now, she got a lot of angle there. So this is going to be a little tougher to manage unless she's going to try and break this out. But if she's going to try and float by the 7, see, yeah, it's the original place she pointed her finger. I don't think is possible to get down there. I think she's going to dive much closer to that corner pocket, that upper left corner pocket. I think she may have to go 2 rails and bump the 10, really. Trying to hit it soft and holding for that position, boy, it takes a deft touch. Yeah, she's going to get below it a little bit. A lot of pressure on this shot here now at 7-5. Not only making the 10, but carrying the cue ball down table because she can't really draw it so easily with the 5 and the 3 there. So the pressure's on Natalie here. You can see it, 7-5, and in fact, that's why she's following the cue ball here is because very tough to draw by the 5 and the 3. She hit it great, absolutely great.
Nicely done.
What
Pockets
a
this
pressure
8
shot.
ball.
Yeah.
She'll close the gap to 1. Sinks the 8 in the corner pocket.
Little
Picks up
fist
her
pump.
6th rack. Now trails by just 1. Again, race to 9. No surprise here. Again, we expected this to be a seesaw battle. It's been very much so.
Yeah, I'm not sure that. Well, she did get a 1-0 lead, isn't that right? in this
Yeah,
match,
early
Natalie?
on.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, Tina's been able to stay a game or so ahead, game or 2 ahead. And they're calling Natalie Miss Canada.
Oh, Canada. Well, I'll tell you, the lady plays pretty solid.
Absolutely. This is her first appearance at the U.S. Amateur Championship. Has made it all the way to the final. Going toe-to-toe with a 2-time champion in Tina Larsen. Nothing on the break there.
And while she doesn't quite get as much power into the rack on the break as Tina does, she does get a lot of nice spreads, though. So if she could have got one down there, good chance of running out. And now the same for Tina.
If you happen to just be joining us, this is the final round of the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship here at Strokers, Palm Harbor, Florida. Tina Larsen, Natalie Jacob.
Well, not only does she not have much of a stripe shot on the solids. I like the stripes. The 13 goes by the 5, the 9 and what is the 10 are real close together over there. So anytime you have a little congestion, but they're the same two of your balls, you can usually handle it. So she went a little far with the cue ball there, but she can draw back on the off the 12 to the 14. What she'd like to do is leave the 9 and 10 for last, I think. Shoot this 12, draw back on the 14. Try and get on the 11 heavy to shoot the 13, and then you can see that really opens up getting on the 9 and 10 in the sides. Okay, so she's going to take on the 9 or the 10 now. Now, the one thing about this is if you're shooting the 9, you don't want to bump the 10 into any kind of bad position near the 2 ball. So if I had the options here, I might shoot the 10 before the 9. Yeah, nice choice. A nice shot. Really only came across with one shot, though, on the 11, so options getting limited quickly. Okay, she's going to go back and forth between the 8 and the 2 and back over. Maybe a shot on the 9 in the side or the 13 in the corner. All right, that's got to go a little bit. It's got to go. So she's in trouble now. Not sure she has a pocket for any of those stripes. Pretty good shot there. I like her thinking from where she was. That's for sure.
Well, the pace of play here is really slowed to a crawl. Again, both players being very deliberate.
And
not
probably a
wanting to
little
make a
fatigued
mistake.
too,
Yeah, a little tired. They've been playing since early this morning. So much on the line here.
Well, she's got some options here, and she'd like to clear the 5 away to open the 3. She could shoot the 4. I think she can get at the 4 on the side. The 6, it's a makeable shot, but I didn't think she would try to take that one on. That's a pretty tough shot. Okay, doesn't want to hit the top of the 13 here and go way up table, giving herself some kind of long missable shot. Okay, that's good. That works.
This is Natalie Jacob at the table out of Montreal.
And doesn't want to hesitate getting at that 3 ball somehow. She's trying to see if she can do something now with the cue ball. And when you have balls open like this, I mean, you don't want to take chances too much, but she could play a 2-rail speed to come across 2 rails like and bump the 13 and really not have too many worries with the 7 there and the 4 there and all that. Or she could play it passive and kind of just roll this in lightly. Yeah, I liked her doing that right there. Because when you have the 4 and the 7 and all that, I mean, it's very hard not to come away with a shot. So instead of, playing through the rack and having to get exactly perfect position to get on that 3 ball to only one pocket, now she's really opened it up where she's got a lot of options. So I think a good choice there. Some would disagree, but.
Yeah, but they don't have a headset on and a microphone, so that's all right.
Yeah,
disagree.
right. Okay, so she's going to have to draw the cue ball back, I think, for the 4 on the side, maybe. I don't know. Depends on what this angle's giving us here on the 1. If she's drawn towards the side pocket, she didn't want to take any chance there. Drawing the cue ball right back in it. But if she's so close to the 1, if she had a nice angle to draw back, kind of where she's standing now for the 4 on the side, that should make things sweet. Okay, so this means she's just playing for the gap to shoot the 3. Well, you can see the score line at 7-6. You can't afford any misses.
Every rack so important at this point. Neither player wanting to make that critical mistake.
Okay, got it down. Got herself a little elevated over the 4, but still shouldn't be a problem. This is all speed control coming to the top rail and back down. Oh, she put a lot of speed on that. Well, this is going to get a little funny. This shot here is going to get a little funny. And I kind of thought it went by the 13, but definitely not scratching if she has to cut it to the lower left. That's if she makes it. I think she'll contact the 13 before she ever scratches anyways. The tire match at 7. Hit a little thick. So when opportunity knocks, here it is, Tina Larsen. You must answer, right?
Absolutely. Got some work to do, but a golden opportunity to get on the hill here in this race to 9.
Yeah, she'd probably want to maybe go forward just 2 or 3 inches off the 9. I don't like her shooting the 13 or the 14 so much, but the 9 in the corner, she's stretched on the 13. And while it's a little bit easier shot, you might say, she's got to put some cue ball movement in there. Now, if she can reach it easily, that's one thing. And she doesn't want to use the bridge, maybe. so many ways to play this one. But, yeah, I mean, if she could reach the 13 easily, that's easy way to get out. 13 up, 9 in the side, 14 in the corner, and adios. But now I look at it, there's not a ton of angle here. And I don't believe the 9 passes the 14 in the upper corner, so she's going to have to make sure she errs on the long side with the cue ball here. Making sure she gets position on that 9. So I still like her. If there was a little more angle on the 13, I don't mind this. And she'll probably show us this is the correct shot anyways. We noticed this yesterday. She plays left-handed, but then uses the bridge right-handed. Well, she looks pretty comfortable, so I think she's going to be just fine. Oh, yeah, great shot. So she'll just kind of stop her cue ball right there. Oh, okay. Well, she had an angle to go forward and still get an angle on the 14. Nothing wrong with that at all. You thought it was a big disaster there for a second, didn't you?
All right, if Tina can pocket this 8 in the corner, she will be on the hill. 1 rack away.
And she'll just ease this one. That's how she's been shooting most of these. Oh, no.
There it is, 8 in the corner pocket. Tina Larsen now on the hill needs just 1 big rack. Jeremy, you've been there before, I know. When it comes down to that final game, I mean, how do you, I'm guessing, the heart rate goes up a little bit, the palms sweat a little more. How do you manage the emotions knowing you are so close, but still have to get through that one last rack?
Well, stick to your routine. I mean, anything can happen. You can miss a ball. It doesn't have to be necessarily the game-winning ball that makes you miss, but one thing that can happen is you can get it a rush a little bit on just one shot, and it can cost you the tournament from this kind of stage. So main thing for me is stick to my routine. These girls been double looking at their shots, making sure their position, all that. So don't get ahead of yourself is the main thing.
Keep an eye on that 8-ball, too. We've seen a few times where Tina gets that 8-ball moving.
You might have brought up exactly what's going to happen right here. With all that 8s that have been moving, how tournaments, crazy things happen to end the tournament. So
we'll see.
Would not shock me. It would surprise me a little bit, but it wouldn't shock me now that you brought it up especially. Okay, a little movement there.
Not as much movement, but
she got a solid down, though, and look at how the solids really nice. She's going to have a little work with the 4, but stripes are nice as well. And that would be one nice way to finish the match as well with a break and run. Yeah.
I think all there for Tina now.
If she can reach the 1 and comfortably get it down, get that second shot, I think she's going to run out.
1 in the corner.
Boy, she'd have liked to have gotten on the 2 right then. But the 2 goes all the way down by the 15, I believe, with no problems. So. Okay, so she's going to draw back for the 3 here, I believe. That's fine. The 2 goes all the way down. I don't know if the 4 passes the 12. That's a bit of a question mark. I'll tell you what she could do, though. Just roll this in and play for the 4 on the side. Then you shoot the 2 all the way up by the 15, and you're kind of home free. She could try to bump the 4, but if she doesn't gain position, could be a problem. She bumped it, but now what? Oh, it goes. She got to where it goes. Perfect. She's going to run out here, I believe. Jason, she's going to knock the 4 in, play for the short side on the 2.
See if Tina is seeing what Jeremy's seeing here.
Well, you know, I don't know if she's recognizing the 2 all the way up, and that's the scary thing for me if I'm pulling for Tina or if I'm in Tina's corner is you really want to keep it simple in this spot. Don't want to put too much. She overcut it.
Opportunity for Natalie. We saw Tina battle back in a match that Natalie was on the hill. Not a far stretch to think the same could happen here, but we'll see.
Yeah, same scenario too, with the person trailing needing 3 in a row to win. And these are very, very open, Jason. Don't see a mistake happening here.
Yeah. You mentioned a little bit earlier, but man, stamina at this point is that may be the deciding factor here. Who's holds up best after several? I mean, these guys started playing at 10 o'clock this morning. Of course, Natalie had to play an extra match after dropping the hot seat match there. So. A lot of time to be on your feet. Physical exhaustion, mental exhaustion, working through each of the racks, the emotions, dealing with the spectators that have really assembled here. Quite a few folks here at Strokers now. Obviously, the folks tuning in online, another element that's added to the.
Surprising to me if she shoots the 11. I'm not saying she's supposed to miss it, but she's elevated over the balls, and you can pick 2 or 3 other shots that are more, or less missable. The balls are so open. There's at times you can overthink things. Kind of, I want to play the pattern perfect. Well, when they're so open, perfect's not necessary. It's whenever you have all that congestion at the beginning of the rack. Ooh. Really, really, really close to a scratch with the cue ball there. Very surprising. Again, in this spot with the ball so open, of course, if you miss, Tina's got the balls open as well, so there's some concern there. But with your ball so open, you really try to stay away from anything risky. Still, the pattern is a little funny to me in my eyes here. She's shooting the 11, which is a missable ball, but she's almost gotten herself to where now she almost has to shoot the 11. She could shoot the 9 and roll down and try and get funny on the 12, but now, just from the first couple opening shots, she's gotten herself into a missable position. When you're looking at trying to play your better 8-ball, Jason, it's a more of less cue ball movement type of patterns. Really where one ball takes me to the position for the next ball without having to cut the ball and move the ball 3 rails. 9 balls the cue ball movement kind of game, where 8 balls you try to pick out a pattern that gives me a lot of, I just stun it over here a couple inches. Oh, come 1 rail over here 10 inches.
Yeah.
Where the balls kind of connect each other, especially whenever you have them open. When the beginning of the rack, you have your opponent's balls on the table. You can't do much about it. You have to move the cue ball at times. But okay, big shot here. She got to come all the way back down. Okay, nice. Nice. It's going to go a little far for these in the corner maybe. So she may have to shoot that ball on the side. And that's one way to let yourself know if you're one of those 8-ball players out there. If you see yourself having to travel with the cue ball a lot, well, you may have to start rethinking things about your 8-ball patterns. It's a good way to recognize that maybe you're not doing exactly, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but You may not be going in the right direction with your patterns if you tend to have to move the cue ball a lot during your runs.
Looks a little unsure here now. No, going back to it.
Yeah, well, speed's important too. She could get up over a ball or a little short or behind the 6. So, okay. Getting through it. Now she definitely has an option. She can shoot the 14 and play the 13 on the side, which is, I think, what she's going to do. That kind of leads you toward the 8 a little easier. If she ends up a hair short, she'll have the 13 in the corner. The overhit is the problem here.
All right, down to the 8 ball here.
Yeah, and we're going to get on to rack number 16 here shortly. I don't believe Natalie's going to miss this 8. Don't think the cue ball's in much jeopardy.
She got it. Natalie is not going to go quietly here. If Tina wants it, she's going to have to earn it the hard way. Natalie will now have the break. Trails once again by just a game. 8-7 in favor of Tina Larsen. We get ever closer. What do you think, Jeremy? Are we going hill?
Well, yeah, probably so.
That's what we've seen most of the day.
I think every match on this
I think
table.
every match, but maybe that last
yeah,
one.
the last one.
The last one is hill all
last
day
one
long.
I thought was going that direction as well.
We'll see what Natalie can do with the break. I haven't seen a lot of balls pocketed on the break by Natalie, but she, like you mentioned earlier, she does tend to leave kind of a nice spread of balls. So.
Okay, she's changing it up here. She was going to, okay, at first she was going to break the second ball from the side rail. Probably because of what you said, not many balls pocketed on the break. So, okay, don't see one down again just yet.
Nope.
And don't see a great shot at the solids. And the solids kind of tell me at first what I would want to get at, but I mean, stripes are, and that's mainly just because of that 7 and 12 that are pinned on the side rail, or 7-10 maybe. Yeah, it's a 7-10. The 1 doesn't pass the 8 in the corner.
Tina still holding a slight advantage. 1 rack lead over Natalie. She is on the hill. A win here in this rack would give Tina her 3rd U.S. Amateur Championship title. A win by Natalie would push us to a hill match, meaning each player would just need 1 final game. I already mentioned the fact that if Natalie can pull this out, she'd be the first Canadian to ever win the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship.
And that tells you how much she dislikes the stripes. She's going for the bank on the 5. Tough one, too. She's got a kind of medium speed. If she hits it hard, great shot. Great shot. And not near as much reward as I feel like she should have gotten. Does the 4 pass the 8? If the 4 doesn't pass the 8, she's in trouble. The 2 is a very difficult shot. In the side, I believe. She's going to have to shoot it, though. She made a real nice cutback spin shot on a similar one in the side earlier in the tournament. I was very impressed. point. Looks like half a pocket maybe. Okay, and that's the strategy side of the game there. That was, I think she was trying to squeeze it by the 8, but purely intentional, hitting it at a light speed to keep the 8 covered
Block
up.
that pocket.
Well, she's in a tough position overall here.
Trying to find a way to pick up this rack.
Yeah, if she does, it's going to take a while, I think. Just the balls are so poorly, a couple of them, that being the 8 and the 10 ball there, are so poorly positioned for her. I'm not sure what I would do here. I might bank the 15, trying to bank it by the 7 and get another ball grouped up over there. And if I make it, maybe I make it off the 7 and open that pocket up. I don't know. Tough position.
Tell you what, between the hot seat match and this match, these ladies are both some serious battlers. I mean, it's just, this has been a slugfest back and forth, and neither one conceding much. Whoever takes this match, it will be well deserved.
Okay, she's shooting the 15. Let's see if she plays it back over there by the 7. I think that's about the best shot she has. And play it like that with a light speed, trying to tie up the 7 just in case. Now, she did real well with the cue ball as well. That was very intentional, leaving the cue ball in this upper right-hand corner. Notice not giving her a shot on the 1, really. It doesn't go. The 2 ball. I don't think she can get at the 4. I'll tell you what, she's left her in a real tough spot. Now, this is where Tina needs to not panic, knowing that the 8's still tied up pretty heavily with the 4. Natalie still has some problems with the 10 over there near the 7, so I'd probably bring the 1 down towards this end of the table, trying to give me more options to defend against Natalie here. So I really don't see Natalie getting out on this next shot either, so. Yeah, I'm not sure. Really kind of cut off here. I think Natalie's decided to go a little aggressive here, trying to cut the 11 in, try and make something happen. Maybe go into the 12, push another ball down that'll help her. Actually, not bad. Not sure what kind of shot she has just immediately. But, I mean, the way she knocked the 12 down there and got another ball near, that may help when it comes to opening the 8 ball up or something like that. And she's got a 9 ball in the corner, a little field goal in between the 14 and 2. She hit it thick, it looked like, yeah.
Bring Tina Larsen back to the table.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Tina can she get at that 2-1 combo. No, she can't. And that would give her a chance to try and run out if she could. But Don't think she can get at it. Maybe she can. She's looking at something to do with the 2-ball. Oh, cross side bank. What a shot.
Nice.
Great shot. So now she has to make another decision. Do I play the 3 aggressively, trying to open the balls up, like pound the 3 into the rail and then off the back of the 12 into the pocket or whatever that ball is near, the 15, I guess? Or do I play safe and just carry him the 15 in and try and cover up the cue ball? That's what she did. Probably pretty smart shot, though, overall. Making things very difficult.
As we approach the 10 o'clock hour here in Tampa. Close to about 3 hours into this match. Just shy of 3 hours.
She's trying to cut this back and open up the pocket, make this off of the 4. Or no, she's just playing it safe.
Clears that 4 ball out of there, but
scratched,
scratches.
So.
Ball in hand to Tina Larsen.
So what do?
Although now she's got that 8 ball blocked in the corner, so she's going to go back at it.
Yeah. Not sure. She's just going to tie these up, though, I think. If you're shooting that way, you just roll this up underneath and tie it up. And I think she thinks that it goes off of the ball easily from that angle. The 3 goes off the 12 easily, but the 6 not so much. So I would be more worried about the 7 ball. What am I going to do with the 7 if I was Tina?
Look at that now.
Not much choice here. She just probably soft kick on that ball. That ball being near the 8. Yeah, just soft kick the ball here. You're not going to, even if you foul, you're not going to hit it hard enough to open those balls. But she definitely doesn't want to foul. Yeah, like that. Be surprised if Natalie attacked here and tried to run balls. She's got really 2 serious problems with the 12 and the 8 and the 10 and the 7. You want to save balls to get at those problems when you can. She makes this 9 and what would be the 14 next. She's really limiting her options quite a bit. And now when she shoots the 14, she's kind of going towards the side with the cue ball. That's why she's elevating right here, I believe. I don't think she's going to send the cue ball at the 10 and try and break those out or anything. She's just elevating to try and avoid the scratch in this side. Okay, nice shot. But again, with 2 serious problems, I don't know about continuing to make your balls. I would probably knock in my opponent's 7 ball right here, probably. Try and leave the 10 in a decent little position right there.
Well, we talked quite a bit about how Natalie doesn't seem to be as proficient in 8 ball as 9 ball, and maybe, you know,
yeah, the
strategy is not as familiar.
Right.
Could be playing into things here.
Well, and it just may not really have had much time playing it, to be honest with you, even though she's a really good player. But her skill set is very high, and the way she thinks in general I like a lot. But, you know, like there's standards, right, is what I mean. Like if you know 8 ball, you know that you don't want to make any balls if you can't run out.
Right.
You know, so it's like a standard way to do things that you're not going to vary from if you have that 8 ball experience. Okay, now she's okay. She can take a chance here if she wanted. She could shoot the 6, come across on the 1, get an angle on the 1 to go into that 8 and 12 and open them up and maybe produce a shot on right in there with the cue ball. Take a chance at winning the title right here with this run. Just cut the 6 in, get a little angle on the 1 ball. Take a chance at crashing into the 8 and the 12 because the 3's not too far away. I mean, it's not so unheard of to get a shot, right?
Yeah. There's the 6.
Yeah, she needs a little more angle. Oh, she got there. Now, she doesn't want to go in there babying it, all right? She wants to put some speed on this ball, and some bad things could happen. But if you baby it, you're just going to settle down there where the 8 is and not have any real shot on the 3. So you got to escape, basically.
That's what she's looking at.
Yeah. I think it's the right play. I mean, you know. Yeah. Again, don't baby it. You don't have to murder it, but you got to put some speed. Oh, she needs a little
out of
more.
there. Watch out.
She got a little unlucky to catch the 8 right in the face. If she put plenty of speed. If she catches a piece of the 8, cue ball escapes easily. So what do you do? Doesn't appear any banks are possible. I think all she can do is really try to feather the 3 towards that hole and try and get the cue ball up above the side to where there's really not any offensive shot. Maybe you get one more chance to try and steal the game. And I saw her spin her ball with a lot of outside earlier. That would be a prime place to do this right now. There's a ton of outside. Just hit it real light. Try and nip it towards the hole. Okay, that's a little far. And the only reason I say that's a little far is
Watch out.
I think she's going to be okay there. The only reason I say that's a little far is Natalie can simply just bump the 9 ball here and have no real threat of the 3. So she wanted the 3 more over the pocket. But still, I mean, you know, it wasn't easy. The one good thing, though, she does just bump the 9. She'll have a little makeable kick shot on the 3 if she wants to go for it, that being Tina. Okay, she was trying to take care of that kick shot as well, and what a great effort
Yeah.
that was.
See how Tina responds here.
Yeah, she's just got to basically kick on the 2 to 3 and just kind of lay the cue ball on top of the 3 and know that she's got the worst of it, but maybe her opponent will make some big mistake.
Foul there by Tina. Natalie will have ball in hand. Natalie and Tina did play in the hot seat match 2 rounds ago. Tina winning that 5-4 at one point. Natalie led, I believe, 4-1. Tina came all the way back, won all 3 games in the 8-ball set. Natalie went on to defeat Stacy Bourbeau in the semifinal match. Set up the rematch between these two, who have been about as evenly matched as you could imagine.
Yeah, very close. And again, wondering about the 8-ball experience because with ball in hand, you would just set this up behind the 13 and push the 3 away and put her behind the 13 and the 10. You want separation when you have so much the advantage here. You don't want the 3 ball to still be clumped up on top of your 2 stripes. Even if you get ball in hand, it's not doing you much good as far as a run out situation. She just gave up ball in hand.
Gonna give ball in hand back to Natalie. For those of you scoring at home, that is considered a safety or a defensive shot in APA play when you turn over ball in hand intentionally.
Yeah, I think I did actually know that. And that's from subbing with some of those friends of mine back home.
Quite the chess match now here in this lower corner.
Oh, don't take a chance at scratching. Look at this ball. Look at this ball. That's what I said. Don't take a chance at scratching.
Wow.
I mean, she still, fortunately, tied the 3 up right there, but I'm wondering, is there any way for... I would like to try and win right here myself because even though you have ball in hand, they have 3 balls on the table and you have 1. If you can't make it, you're in a bad position. So I'll be wondering to me what happens from here. Okay, I think she's trying to win. I think she's banking it, trying to win.
Didn't pocket the ball, but she dug it out of there. What do you think?
Not bad.
Double J approved?
Yeah, not bad at all, and it's made it very difficult for Natalie to get a snooker here on a good hit. I'm not sure which way she's going to go. If she tries to go off what is her left side of the 10, very close to a scratch shot. There's something I feel like she's about to pull the trigger on, so something she likes that I don't see much of anything I like if I'm Canadian right now. Okay, she's going to try and ease off the what is the left side of the 10, going towards that corner with the cue ball. You're trying to use the 8 and 9. Okay, going to give up a shot. Now the 8's pretty covered up, but from the position she was in, Tina's got to be absolutely thrilled to get this opportunity to win the match. Because you don't win many games from that position where you have one ball buried and they have 3 balls right around it, and it just doesn't happen very often in 8-ball, especially playing, really good players. So. Oh, she caught it thick.
Put that cue ball in that far pocket. Ball in hand to Natalie.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if she's going to play another safety here. She could play the 10 in the opposite corner. She's going to have to play a nice little shot on the 13 to the 12, but it's very doable. Okay, she's going to edge the 10 and looks like put her behind the 12 and the 8. Now again, if you're going to edge this 10 ball, you want to open the 10 and 13 up. You don't want to have to do this again and again. Not saying you're going to be in a bad spot, but you give your opponent multiple kick shots to try and get fortunate on you. It happens sometimes then. Oh, did she get there? She did, but again, the 10-13's tied up. The 12-8's tied up. So making a good hit on this 3 ball is very important. If she can make a good hit on this 3 and, say, put it in front of a pocket or near a pocket with these other ones tied up, she's going to have a good chance of trying to win this game. Just like here. That's why you got to open the balls up whenever you play the safety, and that safety is the one I was talking about from Natalie. So now, a fortunate kick shot to hit that good side of the 3 and not come away with giving up much at all. But, all right, a soft roll on the 10 again. Or is she going to run the cue ball? She's going to run the cue ball. That's smart. Watch out, 12 ball. Wow. She's not taking much time at all. Now, does she shoot this 12 ball in and try and run the cue ball maybe? 3-12, shoot it in. Well, The one thing about that type of shot is, you know, all she's got to do is roll on top of the 13, leaving her behind the 8. She's got way the best of it. And again, it tells me that maybe Natalie doesn't have that much 8-ball experience, because she's looking at this like it's a big problem, and it's not that much of a problem. Now, is she thinning this and going back across? Watch out for leaving a bank. Oh, she's left a bank now. I mean, in that position there, you're not supposed to leave really any chance to win, you know. Of course, I know she wanted to get further down there with the cue ball. But I think this long railer goes. And I think Tina can hit it hard enough to where if it doesn't go 1 rail, maybe it goes 2 rails. I don't like her ducking here. I like her going for the win and the title. And I'll tell you another thing she can do. If she can follow her ball around table, that 8 is a big blocker at all those stripes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just move around table, even where she's at right now, a little further maybe. See where she's pointing her cue?
Definitely, yep.
So may have a bit of a two-way shot here. That's it. 2 rails off the 13. See you later.
Got it. Wow. All right, Jeremy. We are down to the 8-ball here. Big shot still, though. A lot of ground to cover.
And that's what happens when you give them a few more opportunities than you should sometimes. And a bit unfortunate for Natalie, but, you know, fortune kind of rides on the side of aggression a lot of times.
You've said that the last couple of days, so we'll see. Can Tina Larsen finish it off here? 8-ball away from her 3rd U.S. Amateur Championship.
Yeah, simple Susie here. Don't do anything funny. Just a nice little stop shot. Good clean stroke. And carry the trophy home.
There it is. Tina Larsen pockets the final 8-ball in this year's Women's U.S. Amateur Championship, securing her 3rd title here. Congratulations to Tina. Congratulations to Natalie. Again, her first time here at the U.S. Amateur Championship, making it all the way to the final round. But tonight, Jeremy, it's all about Tina Larsen.
Yeah.
Goes undefeated through the field.
Yeah, a lot of great shooting by many players.
Unbelievable. And that was a slugfest. That was a slugfest as Tina runs by us to the to the restroom real quick. So, folks, that does it from here at Strokers, at least for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow with the Open Division. Gets going at 10:30 tomorrow. We'll be back with live coverage here on the APA Facebook page, so make sure you stay tuned. And we are going to sign off for tonight. Going to go congratulate these great players, and then we're going to head home and grab some sleep. Do it all again tomorrow.
That's right.
Thanks for tuning in, folks, and we will see you again here tomorrow at Strokers in Palm Harbor. Until then.
Yeah, see you later. Thanks for tuning in.